Guess what, you guys? Guess what? The Secret Service is out of money. They can no longer to afford to protect Donald Trump. And this is simply because he's always on vacation and he has so many places that needs protecting, and he has a large family. Now, now listen. For those of you who voted for uh, for Donald J. Trump, for those of you who voted for him, look, I get it. You wanted a guy in there who's going to put his foot down, who's going to tell it like it is, who's going to bring America back to its glory and stomp out, whoever it is that needs stomping. You wanted somebody like Bush, but the Bush administration was terrible. They were terrible, 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 crooked, terrible people. Just terrible. 9/11? Yeah, we're not even going to go there. But nonetheless, so you voted for Trump, even though your vote didn't make any difference. He was going to be there anyway. But nonetheless, I'm just asking some of you people, do you still want Trump in office? I mean, let's forget about him, grabbing women in the most vulgar way. Let's forget about that he has done nothing for the African American people. Let's forget about that he wants to build a wall that's already there. There's already a wall there. Plus, immigrants don't even come into America that way. Not to mention, there's more than just one race of immigrants coming into America. Let's just forget about that. And then when you want to look at the so-called jobs that he's created, like, come on, people. Who's he benefiting? I mean, we're not even going to go there with the taxes. Let's just forget about that. Let's forget about, the health care that he destroyed. Yeah. We don't want to talk about that either. Him being on vacation more than any other president. We don't want to go there. Let's just forget about that. And then his recent debacle, where he claims the whole thing up in Charlottesville after, these wannabe Nazis pretty much start killing people. And he blamed everyone for it on many sides. Instead of just calling out the Ku Klux Klan and saying, hey, you guys are wrong. You tiki torch carrying crazies, you're wrong. No, didn't even denounce that whatsoever. And now this. Secret Service. His constant travel and his large family. Look, I'm just going to tell you people. I'm a guy who throws out skeptical thoughts, who makes predictions. Some of them are right. Some of them are wrong. Some of them aren't worth listening to. I admit that. Because I'm just having fun. I'm just a guy. I'm not none of these guys who are making money off of this. I'm just the everyday dude, who doesn't have a lot of money, just throwing out stuff that, here's what I think is going to happen. He can't even pay these people anymore. He can't do it. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think that Donald J. Trump, for one, he's going to have private security. Now, we know he already has this, but what I mean by private security is, I mean he's going to hire either the same agencies, the U.S. agencies that are watching over now, he's going to privatize them. He's going to privatize them. And he'll have his own, we'll say his own army of guys that watches over him, and he pays them, which means they no longer fall under government rules. This one thing I think is going to happen. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure that's going to happen. And it's going to be right in your face. And they're going to answer to the law, but not really. Not really, because he's the president. And they're going to say, you know what? Because he's the president. This is the reason why they beat up this old lady who was wearing a hijab. Because they thought she was a terrorist, even though she was going to the grocery stores to get, candy for her kids. That's the reason why they beat the crap out of her. And she's barely alive. And if she dies, nobody's going to jail. They did it because she was 30 miles away from the president, and she said, Donald Trump, and that was it. That was it for her. One of them overheard it and beat the crap out of her. All she said was, That was it. She had a hijab on. That was it. And they'll walk away from it like nothing happened. And in further news, we have, some corny story to take your mind off the fact that this lady's in the hospital, 75 years old, and, is pretty much going to die of boots to the face, and, the respiratory system just kicked all to hell because of Donald Trump's thugs thought she was some type of threat, 30 miles away, saying the word, But it was because she had a hijab on, really. So, that's what I think is going to happen. Now, if this does happen, and Donald Trump gets it, listen, people, I don't think this was an accident. I don't think this was an accident or in any shape, form, or fashion. I don't. This could even be fake news, but I doubt it. I think it's news to make us realize that the money has gone out. Listen, he sucked all that money dry in less than a year. They have an allotted amount that they're supposed to use for a whole year. He sucked it dry. Okay? Gone. Finito. That's it. This man's a multi-billionaire. You think he'll lay those people off? Really? Do you think he'll tell John to stop watching over his child or his grandchild or his wife and her extended family? Do you think that's what's going to happen? They're all going to leave Donald Trump's estates? You think that's what's going to happen, really? Or do you think Donald Trump is going to go, how much did it cost? You guys stay right here. You're doing good. I'll pay you. And give you a raise. You're now on my payroll. Follow the government rules, but you're on my payroll. Oh yeah, and here's another set of rules. And these rules are, there are no rules when it comes to protecting my family. What, you think that can't happen? You think that he can't have his own regime? What, you think that if Donald Trump was to, for some odd reason, like what he's been doing for the last, since he's been in office, gets threatened even more to be impeached, you think that his Secret Service, not the government, his Secret Service won't step in and start doing stuff to people? Chandra Levy, whatever happened to her? I'm just throwing that out there. You think if you try to remove Donald Trump from office, that his army won't show up? And he'd tell you pretty much, make me. Is that what you guys think? Now, you guys may think, Tone, that's ridiculous. That would be pure anarchy. It would go from a first world state all the way down to a third to even fourth world state. It's not going to happen. That's not who we are. We're America. We're number one. Really? Is that what we are? I mean, are we really? I'm just asking you guys. Are we number one? Are we the pinnacle of justice? Are we the pinnacle of truth? The eagle, the shining light? I'm just throwing it out there. Because I'm telling you, that shining light is about to be dimmed real quick. It's bad, people. It's bad, and it's going to get worse. And Donald Trump's money is going to cause a whole lot of changes that are going to simply be just for him. Listen, people. Remember when people was talking about Obama leaving office in his last term? And then they were saying Obama could actually stay in office and go for a third term. It could be some type of executive decision. I don't know. I don't know all the parameters. But he can actually stay in office. Do you think that Donald J. Trump wouldn't utilize that if he wanted to? And all of America fall in line? You think he wouldn't do that? The only thing that would stop him is who? Or what? The military. But as long as the military has his back, he can be in there as long as he wants to. What are you going to do about it? Run up at his home? Go ahead, see what happens to you. I'm just trying to tell you people, this is the beginning of something big. And it isn't even the beginning. I don't know. I could be wrong. Hopefully I am. Hopefully I'm just, just a skeptic running off at the mouth. It's Monday. I have nothing better to do. Talk about how Donald Trump is going to bring America to a screeching halt. You know what I'm saying? Starving citizens. Complete anarchy on the street. You don't need North Korea to do that. Just one power-hungry megalomaniac in office. And who knows? Might not be Trump. Trump might be the greatest thing that ever happened to America. I don't see how. However, it's called a span of control. And I see Donald Trump's span of control about to expand all over America. And it's about to be privatized. And all the Geneva Codes and Geneva Convention and all this other stuff that you guys play by, these rules you play by, he's going to throw all of those out of the window. Out of the window. It's going to be his America. And please don't act like you don't think it can happen, because it happened before. It's your boy Tone 202. Stay alert, stay alive.